with the Startup on the Blocks, and we're excited. We've had o- uh, over 50 events this year, and we're excited to do our Founders Day demo tonight. And this will be our last event of the year. And so, how do you feel about that, Lord Junior?
I'm very excited. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Founders of Color launch program demo day. I'm very excited to hear everybody's what they've been working on the past 7 weeks in the Founders of Color launch program, and get some feedback from those in the audience. So as we move forward, I definitely think we should definitely thank our sponsors, and then hear a little bit about what's been going on these past 7 weeks. I'll let you
All
have the floor, Dan.
right. Okay, that sounds good. I'll share my screen here, and we can thank our sponsors. Yes, so we've it's been a great year, and we're excited that we had the support, from our many sponsors, and you see them all right here. Big shout out to Florida Power and Light, Industry Hotels, the First Bank. These are all companies that actually believe in what we're doing. They believe in um, us training founders on the best practices for building a startup so they can leverage some of the resources that are available to them in the ecosystem. Also, want to give a shout out to both chambers, both the Gulf Coast Minority Chamber and the Pensacola Chamber. They've been with us from day one, and so we're excited about that. Bantucola, they've been helping us get the word out through streaming our content out to several different social media platforms. CoLab has been providing some mentorship and counseling for our founders, and the Small Business Development Center also helps our founders, and so we partner with them to support our founders. And finally, the Startup Science. Yeah, we were very, very, very fortunate to bring them on as partners. And now we have some additional training for our founders, not included, we already had the business model design training and the lean from the lean stack thing, and also the once you build your business model, we had the training where you could go in there and validate your business model and design a solution. And so that addition with the startup science is a pretty powerful addition to what we've been doing. So we're excited that we have all the training tools to get our founders to the point where they can actually take advantage of some of the opportunities out in the ecosystem. Had the opportunity yesterday to talk to a black founder. He runs a company called Meter Feeder, and so it was really nice to chat with him to kind of understand what founders go through. And like these founders here, they're at an earlier stage in their journey than he is. But the significant thing is he's going to come on board at the beginning of the year and share his story so we can actually learn from his story. And so he sets a good example because he learned how to pitch what he was doing. He got some traction. And so I was asking him, I said, which platform is your software on? And he said, well, my software is on uh, Google Cloud, GCP. And I said, you know, um, are you using their cloud credits? And he said, yeah, I, I, I used $100,000 worth of their cloud credits, and they also gave me $100,000 cash. And that's what we're trying to get our founders to see. If you take your time and design your business model so that it's scalable, you can actually take advantages of resources like that to kind of help you move forward. How would you like somebody to give your startup $100,000 with no strings attached? So that's like one example. So really excited. So I was gonna ask Vercel. He's been working real closely with us, but I see he's not here backstage. And Vercel is one of our mentors, but he's also been actually taking the training and applying the training to his business, and so and he's been having a lot of success with that. So we will get him if he comes back on backstage. We'll get him to share his story about that. Is that Vercel? Okay, Vercel, can you hear me? If you're, okay, I don't hear him, so I'm assuming he's having some mic troubles or whatever. Yes, but the bottom line is that with the lean startup methodology, you demo, sell, bill, and so he used that philosophy, and he's actually his startup is um, I think it's Eden Terrace, and he's designing a new approach to having funerals, repasts, and burials all in one place, and he doesn't even have the funeral home built. Are the grass in the cemetery, are roads paved, and he's already in the last quarter made over $100,000 just by using these principles. And so that's what we're encouraging our founders to do. We're glad to see the folks in the audience. If anybody have any questions before we get started with the competition? Righty. So these are the founders that will be presenting tonight. I'm going to turn it over to Lloyd Jr., and it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Dad. I appreciate it. I'm really excited for you all to hear some of the founders that have been working through the past 7 weeks with the Founders of Color launch program. So as we get started, our first founder, who you've seen a lot of here at Startup on the Blocks, is Carlos, and he is with Polysol, and he's going to give us a demo of about 3 minutes where he's going to explain what he's been doing with Polysol over the past 7 weeks, as well as making sure that we can ask some questions about where he's going in the future in the next step of his program. So I'm going to bring Carlos up when he's ready, and we are going to go ahead and hear his pitch. Welcome, Carlos. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, good. We're looking forward to having you here today and to hear about your program. So once I bring up your presentation, we'll go ahead and get started. And I look forward to hearing all about Polysol. Your
Yes,
time
sir.
starts now.
Polysol, dedicated to educating and innovating the masses. Cyberbullying is a modern form of bullying. If cyberbullying remains the way it is, lives will be lost, mental health will be affected, and academic success will decrease. Cyberbullying disrupts your mental health, causing depression and suicide. Bully Recovery is a platform designed to help victims of bullying heal mentally by learning life skills while staying safe both physically and emotionally. A child's bullying story. My name is Will. I am a 14-year-old hiker, runner, and Boy Scout, and I was bullied. It traumatized me. I have Asperger's syndrome. I think differently from others and find it hard to be social. I love video games and YouTube. Step 1. Bully Recovery will create a personalized treatment plan based on Will's bullying story. Step 2. Will complete a lesson on life skills such as effective communication skills. Step 3 will be that Will go to a community chat room where he will chat with community leaders who used to be bullied or they used to be a bully. And the final step is a mental identity shift from victim to overcomer. Hipster is our primary competitor. However, these areas set us apart. Health advisement, counseling, art therapy, and anti-bullying support groups. Our business model is business to school and software as a service. Our end users are students, parents, mental health counselors, and psychologists. Our customers are school districts, and the subscription model is $500 per student per year. Bully Recovery needs 2,000 active customers to scale and break even at $1 million. Our global market is 95 billion. Our total addressable market is 1.6 billion, and our initial market is 418.5 million. I shared my bullying story on Talk to Danielle, which builds marketing potential. I'm creating bully recovery partner network, starting with Carter J. Gaston and Kenneth Beret. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Wonderful job, Carlos. We appreciate you sharing all that, and you still have some time left over. So, is there anything you'd like to share a little bit, or Dad? I see you popped up on the screen. You got some questions already?
Yes, Carlos, would you put your slides in the presentation mode and just flip through them so people can see what you were talking about? See, like you have to make sure that you're in the presentation mode before you get started.
Oh, yes, sir.
So put your slides in the presentation mode. We see your deck. We don't see your in the presentation mode. So switch it to the presentation to slideshow.
Oh, like this?
Yes, I think you have it in a separate tab. That's why it's like we're just looking at your Google Slides in a separate tab that you've set aside. So you need to go to that tab.
Oh, Google Slides.
So like we want to make sure everybody gets set up right before you actually start presenting. But Carlos, yeah, you actually have it down. So like what we see is your so how many of your presentations things you have in the so do you have more than one tab with your presentation in it?
Oh, no, sir. Just one tab.
So click slideshow. So I don't see your mouse moving on the tab we're looking at. See the screen we're looking at, it only has one tab open.
Oh, yes, sir. I switched the presentation though to where it focused on just that one tab when I shared my screen.
Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, so we understand. So does the audience have any questions for Carlos?
It looks like Joe was about to leave a question, but I'll let him finish typing it there, Joe Cruz. So we'll wait a few moments for that. But in the meantime, I think you did a wonderful job with your presentation there. Ah, here he goes. We're going to pull that up here. TikTok in China restricts children under the age of 14 to 40 minutes a day, and they also allow them to view particular content, all related to STEM. How can your platform control bullying? What are the ethics? That's a good question. So think about your program, and one, is it a platform? And two, how would it control bullying?
Oh, yes, sir. Like Bullet Recovery though is a platform, and when it comes to who we work with, like with China for example, like we would set some up though to where if they're being bullied though, like they can we can set up bloggers, or if need be though, they can set up a separate room or things like that. Cause we basically got to set up to where like they can report the issue, and of course parents and proper authorities though can intervene. Hey, can we block the material? Can we separate them, put them in a different like room online? And even when we block like any harsh words or anything like that, we want to of course though implement the last part of the strategy though, and set up protective measures though. Maybe like set it up to where if the bullying online continues though, we can report them to the proper authorities, or they can create like evidence and things like that, and the parents can talk with a child and they can decide, hey, do we put them in a separate room, or do we set up some boundaries at home though, to where maybe they need to be on the internet less, or maybe we need to put them like in a separate internet or things like that. So it's all
No,
about working with the parents and the authorities.
wonderful, wonderful. we'll see if we can answer some of Sabrina's questions that she's posted here. Did you say you have current clients? And if so, how is it going? Have you been able to get community leaders signed up? Are users identified in schools or therapists? Or do they seek out help because they have been bullied? Can you answer any of those? Or if you can just one of those if you like. We have about a minute left.
Oh, uh, overall, bully recovery is designed to help the students though deal with the bullying. So, so yes, like if a child's being bullied though, it's basically set up to where they can seek out, help for it though through bully recovery, and we'll set up a overall game plan to where they can, have better ways to deal with it and to heal, and set up ways we can, protect them, just in case the bully may, retaliate. We currently don't have clients, but I'm currently in partnerships though with Carter J. Gaston, the world's greatest portrait artist, and with Mr. Beret, and we also plan on partnering with different ministries and different companies, and even other anti-bullying, programs, setting up like nonprofit partner, ships in terms of dealing with bullying. It's all about strategy when it comes to dealing with bullying.
Wonderful. And then we have one more. We've got a couple of seconds. Joe asks, does your app software automatically report? And can you link to telehealth?
Yes, we want the link to telehelp, and we want to set it up to where it can be automatic, and if need be, though, you just report it the old-fashioned way.
All righty. Thank you so much, Carlos. I would appreciate it. And thank you all in the audience for some great, great questions. We're going to have you come back down here, and we'll hopefully get a chance to speak to all of our presenters at the end. So stay in the back for us.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
You. So now we're going to have next, we have actually Sandra Donaldson with D Edge is going to be next for us. So I'll bring her up on the screen now. Welcome, Sandra. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing today? It's good to see you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, thank you for being backstage. Whenever you are ready, would you like to share your presentation now? You have it
Okay.
up here. I see it.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me grab it.
So go ahead and go into presentation mode, and then we'll get started.
Okay, good evening. DEDGE. We ignite inclusive, resource driven communities. According to the CDC, your zip code tells us more about your health and life expectancy than your genetic code. So, what's the problem? The problem is poor quality of place, lack of resources, low income housing, living within a food desert, and sustainability is the lack of certified community health workers. So, the solution is to certify and deploy trusted frontline health workers, known as CCHWs, on site within HUD subsidized and underserved communities. We offer a state approved virtual CCHW training program, thus removing the biggest risk, which is access. This is a snapshot of the training platform, and students can go online and they can register for their courses. Our competition is there's only one other certified community health worker training program in the state of Florida. What makes us different from our competitors is that we are the only Northwest Florida training program. Our program is very affordable, and we have open enrollment throughout the year. Our revenue model is an agreement with a HUD subsidized property owner, and we also have a 3-year CCHW training grant through the federal government that we have been awarded in partnership. Our traction is that we want to make the CCHW program a replicable model so that we can utilize what we're doing currently in the HUD communities here recently and be able to take that program and replicate it in other HUD and underserved communities. We want to build upon our current grant that we have in partnership with Ascension Sacred Heart to be able to show the impact of this White House Initiative grant. And we're going to use the 3 years of the grant award to be able to increment it throughout the year where we can model, prioritize, and test the service. Our team are community health workers, the Federal Health Resource Service Administration, HUD Housing, and DEDGE. This is my contact information for anyone that have more questions about the training program and concept. Hello, and welcome to the ask is to develop an app or platform where CCHWs can go on, they can blog, they can document within their geographical service area. And for those CHWs, the subscription fee would be $15 monthly or $170 annually. For reporting entities, the subscription fee would be $2,500 annually to run geographical and need-specific reports to show the return on investment. This data could be used to justify future funding sources and support CDC studies.
That's your 3 minutes. You did a wonderful job. So we're going to open up the floor now for questions for the next 5 minutes. So if there are questions in the comments, either on Facebook or on the live, you're welcome to pop up at this time, and we will go ahead and remove that. Oh, look, Monica has a question here. Let's see if we have something. So what does she say here? Monica Sanford says, this is an amazing program. There needs to be multiple community health workers throughout Escambia. This will hopefully help keep people out of the emergency. I hear that. How do you feel about that, Sandra?
I think that's a perfect depiction of the program and the services, because if we can meet people within the communities where they are and do a peer-to-peer advocacy campaign to be able to connect our residents to the resources where they are, I think we can decrease emergency room visits. I think that we can increase our and implement better healthcare strategies within our community. So that's absolutely perfect depiction of where we need to go with this program.
Yes, Joe asked, are you doing this solo?
I'm the sole training provider. I have a training platform where anyone throughout the state of Florida can go into that program, and they can go inside and launch it, register. It's through the state of Florida. It's a Florida Certification Board training program. So I offer the 30-hour curriculum in order to be certified. So my program was completely developed by me. And I monitor my training platform, and I also have IT and marketing support.
Wonderful. Sabrina says, great presentation.
Thank you.
Joe has a couple. Joe has a couple more questions. Who is developing your curriculum, which I think you really answered a little bit there. And then what outlets are you using?
So my outlets is the National Association of Community Health Workers training program. I am listed as a state of Florida training program. I am utilizing marketing through Facebook, through LinkedIn, to be able to show the impact of the work, as well as following some of the CDC protocols and processes to be able to continue to implement the program.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Tia says, great presentation as well.
Thanks,
Sabrina has another question. Is there a need for these workers outside of HUD subsidized areas?
So, Sabrina, there are community health workers that work in specialty clinics. They work in social service industries. They work in businesses. So when your frontline staff can't get to work because they can't pay their rent, it really closes your doors. So businesses have really gotten onto this concept. Like, would it be possible for us to offer a community health worker within our HR department to be able to keep our workforce and to be able to make sure that we meet the needs that our workforce are facing in order to get to work and basically sustain our economy?
Wonderful. One of our presenters actually has a question for you. Are you raising capital currently?
So no, I am not raising capital. I am completely self-funded. Again, I am a partner and a recipient for a 3-year federal grant. I am also contracted with a local community that's, obviously wanting to utilize this concept, but really looking at social needs within communities of underserved and what would that look like to bring in on-site services. So no, I do not have any capital funding. I am a self-made woman.
That's from our presenter Mario, so you can get him
Mario.
when he has to present.
Oh yeah, I'll ask him questions too.
Exactly. Joe and Monica have a question. I think they might be similar. She said, Joe says, okay, so you own the LMS?
So I am on Teachable, and I own my platform on Teachable, but it's a subscription. It's kind of like what I'm looking for. So it will kind of like merge. I would actually utilize this to be able to merge into the platform I'm asking for. Show how many students that I have gotten through my program, and I graduated my first student last month that down from in Miami, and so this is not.
Congratulations.
Yes, this is not just a local program. It's not a local concept. It's a national concept. And so, what I want to be able to do is utilize the platform I'm asking for and share that with Teachable. How many students am I graduating compared to how many are being deployed throughout the state of Florida, and match that with the CDC guidelines?
Absolutely. And so that is your time now as far as questions are concerned. But I do want to pop up a couple of other things. We want to thank everybody for their questions. Sorry, Monica, we weren't able to get to yours or Joe's questions. But Sheila says, awesome program.
Thank you.
Sabrina says, congratulations
Thank
as
you.
well. And Joe shouts you out, young, independent, strong woman. There you go.
I'll
There
take
you
that young.
All righty. So we're going to have Ty come up next. But thank you so much for sharing your work, Sandra. And we look forward
Thank,
to hearing more from you.
thank you all. Good luck, everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all again. These presentations are really coming together. I'll bring up Ty Jones now. How are you doing, Ty? You're on mute currently. Can you hear us, Ty?
Yes, sir, I can. Yes, sir, I can.
Welcome, welcome. How are you?
Great. How about yourself?
Wonderful, and glad you were able to make it in for Warzone Music. So you
Yes,
have
sir.
about three. We have about 3 minutes to give us a presentation with that. If you'd like to share something on your screen, you can go ahead and pull that up now by clicking Present in the bottom there, and you can choose the tab in which you'd like to share.
Sweet, sweet.
And while you're working on that, we just want to thank everybody for coming to this evening. I love the energy in the comment section. It's so positive. We're uplifting one another. And I think that's really what it's about here, is making sure that we uplift all of our founders who've taken the time over the past 7 weeks to really work on their minimum viable product for their startup. So congratulations on being here and showing up and doing the work.
Good deal. I'm having I won't pull up my won't pull
All
up
right.
the
Well, if that's the case, you can definitely work on that a little bit backstage if you want a little bit more time.
if you
And
don't mind.
then, yeah, and then we'll go ahead and bring up, we have Quinn back here as well. So I think we should go ahead. Actually, no, we're not bringing up Quinn. We'll bring up Mario since he has some questions for our other guests. But we'll see you in a little bit, Ty. Okay?
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. So while we're waiting a moment, we're going to ask Mario to come on backstage, and while everyone's getting their presentation set up and ready. And in the meantime, as we wait for these other founders to pop forward, keep giving that positive motivation out there. Some of these questions that you all are asking are the questions that need to come into play, and that's what's important. This helps us move forward as startups and to really encourage our community to create businesses and create the ideas that they want. All right, Mario, are you ready to go? Hey, how are you doing? You might want to unmute for a second, but we can see you.
Oh my gosh. Uh, it's
Would you?
lagging a lot, I guess.
Okay. Are you able to bring it up, or would you like to just speak your presentation?
I think it might be the background. Let me just play around, take this background off. I think
Oh, okay. All right.
that's what it might be.
So while you're working on your background there, we'll go ahead and keep moving forward. And then once you're ready, you just come back on the screen. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful. All righty. Well, then we can actually move forward to Quinn because I think Quinn is actually ready, who I was going to initially move forward to in the beginning there. So, Quinn, if you don't mind, just pop on your camera when you're ready, and we will go ahead and get started with your presentation. So, welcome, Quinn. Wonderful. So, we want to make sure you unmute so that way you can give your presentation. And then once you're unmuted, we will go ahead and get started.
All right.
We can hear you.
All right. You can hear me. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yes, I'm going to share your screen now.
All right. Is my time on?
Not yet. Go ahead and make sure your presentation is up and running before we get started here.
Is it not showing?
Yes, it says click to exit full screen right now is what we have on our screen. All righty. Go to present and we'll be ready.
Can you see it?
No, not yet. I think it's on another screen. So you want to make sure it's on the same screen you're currently on. Right. There we go. So it says click to exit full screen.
Say the Quinn. Yeah, you can go ahead and share it back up there, Lord Junior. And Quinn, once you get it shared, you probably just need to do the what is this command tab or something to kind of switch you to. And we'll let you know when we actually see it.
Yeah,
We
there
see
we
it
go.
right there.
Yep,
Okay.
there we go. So we can let you get started there.
All right. My time, whenever.
You're started.
All right. Hello, my name is Quinn, the founder of The Note. The Note was created to streamline business for the entertainment industry. So once upon a time, entertainers used to want to sign to record labels, but now entertainers choose to remain independent, but they don't want to take along the burden of business with them, such as writing contracts, negotiating fees, and securing payments. On the flip side, sometimes event centers and venues have issues finding talent. So the solution is bringing in a platform that consolidates social and streaming analytics as well as bookings on one platform and provides central location for you to find entertainers. Also for a safe and efficient transaction. Think of the node as easy as booking an Airbnb. So what you see here currently is what it would look like for an entertainer to see the back office. So if the entertainer has a booking on their calendar, they can navigate to a specific day that has already been booked. They can see what has been booked and the details of that specific booking. They can see the duration of the booking, the price, as well as leave themselves a simple note on what they need for that specific booking. If they navigate back towards the initial calendar, they can see their upcoming events. They can also see their previous events. If you were interested in booking talent, what you would be able to do is simply go to a search bar, find an entertainer based on geographic location, price range, and the type of entertainer. So let's say you were looking for a singer. You would just type in singer. All the singers in that geographic location that you narrow down your preferences will come up. You'll be able to click and get a brief overview of that artist, their services, and if you need more information, their social media platforms and their analytics. So the advantage, you can now book entertainers in less than 10 minutes. We have a booking and logistic management system, and there is a safe service for your transactions. So our revenue model is a 10% transaction fee. We have a base subscription model of $40 per month. Our go-to-market strategy is partnering with venues, promoters, entertainers, and businesses. Our market size is 15.9 billion total addressable market based on 20.4 million entertainers. So we're working on getting our first 100 entertainers on the platform, as well our first 1,000 transactions. So we're scheduled to launch here in the first in January of 23. Our CTO is Jerry Morrell, and we have a diverse background of advisors. And now that you know, welcome to the know.
Great job with 8 seconds to spare. That was wonderful, my friend. So we'll go ahead and open up the floor for questions. I see a few already. Joe is super hyped here. He's saying, did you develop this app? If so, major move, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Joe. So I developed the concept. I initially did some plug and play, a download, no code beforehand, before getting to this point. And now I have a development team that's helping me bring the full interactive MVP for the users.
Awesome. And he also has a follow-up question. What is your background?
So yeah, my background is entertainment business. I managed artists before. I've also consulted artists and businesses.
Heather says incredible. So your work has definitely been very motivating. I've said that to you and other things, but I love that everyone is starting to see how much you're working on. So definitely, audience, keep those questions and comments coming in. Tia says, game changer for the entertainment industry.
Thank you,
So,
Tia. I appreciate you.
I think people are definitely seeing the work that you're putting into it. So while we're waiting for some of those questions to come in, tell us about how it's been to develop your minimum viable product.
Yeah, it's been a process. Initially, the toughest part was to actually start finding somebody who can actually build it for me, and going through the program, the Startup on the Blocks, and now going through the Founders of Colors program. It's helped me to more so define my pitch and how I'm approaching these situations. So it's
Awesome.
been
Yeah, so Brandon says, will there be any safety features in place to protect the artist if someone cancels, for example, non-refundable deposit?
Yeah, absolutely. So there will be some features in place. One, to protect our artists. Far as for deposits, there are different roadblocks along the way for cancellation. So it's a time frame, 30, 60, 90 type of time frames. And then also it'll be some protection on the side of if the artist has a manager or a label that's actually managing them, there is a functionality that the artist will give the label or the manager the access to be able to manage the artist without having to give them their sensitive information to get into their social media platforms and all of that good stuff. They'll still be able to do their role, but the artists and the entertainers be able to remain in control of that process.
Wonderful. Monica says, love that, Quinn. What about booking talent for podcasts for interviews, not performances? Have you thought about that?
Yeah, so pretty much the entertainer will be able to have their services that they offer. So if podcast interviews is one of those services, you can access and book them directly from there, and it'll save in their on their calendar from that point.
Yes, great job, Tyler says. Much needed in the market. Joe has kind of a follow-up question about what is your range, area of operations? Is there any kind of details you want to add to based on what you were just saying about it?
Could you kind of clarify your question?
All right. So, Joe, if you want to clarify your question regarding his area of operations, you can definitely leave that in the comments there. In the meantime, Tyler asks, what are some of the challenges you'll be facing recruiting the first 100 artists?
So I currently have 53 artists, entertainers in different areas of the entertainment industry that will be jumping on the platform and also referring others to use the platform. I'll be going into my beta testing, and from there, based on how they feel about the platform, they'll also be referring. And then I also have partners that'll also be coming in, ambassadors that will be helping me obtain these first 100. I don't think it'll be too hard because I'm almost to the goal. But the other reason why I don't think it'll be too hard is because it is something that is needed and necessary for the entertainment industry as a whole.
Awesome. Abraham says, what are you doing to market the no? You have about 30 seconds to answer this.
Yeah, so the way I'm actually getting entertainers at this point is through personal contacts, personal connections at this point, as well as continue to build my own network, as well as reaching out to those that know about the no and supports the no, to tap into their network and also share the information to the no. So really it's more word of mouth. Word of mouth is more powerful at this point because it's better to hear from somebody that you trust and believe in.
So that is your time for sure for questions. Great job. I'm sorry, Joe, we didn't get back to your clarification question, but there's a lot of hype for you right now. Awesome job. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the wild. Great job from Sheila.
I appreciate it.
Joe says to be a face.
Thank you.
Carlos says this is a game changer.
Thank you.
Awesome job, Quinn. Tyler says, "Let's go."
Thank you.
So you got a lot of hype there in the room here. So we're so excited for the work you're doing. Stay on afterwards for the end of the presentation there.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Now we're gonna have up next. I think Ty is ready to go here. How are you doing, Ty?
Good.
So we're ready to hear a little bit more about Warzone music, which I think is an appropriate segue based on what we just saw here.
Right, man. I'm so man, it's ridiculous, man. Oh my goodness, so excited.
Now, do you have a presentation you're going to share with us today, or on your screen?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm pulling it up.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and pull that up when you're ready. So right now we currently see us, so you have to go into your presentation.
Okay, that's weird. I have it up. Hold on one second. Let me try something.
So while you're working on that for sure, then pull that up there. We'll wait a few moments here. In the meantime, I just love some of the stuff. I think we need to keep shouting out. So you keep working on that, and I'm going to shout out a few more people while you're pulling that up.
Okay.
So
no worries.
Again, Abraham for Quinn says, great work. The growth is phenomenal. That's over there to Quinn's stuff. Joe was also referring to Quinn saying, you are so good. So they're really loving this stuff. And I appreciate the shout out, Brandon. I appreciate it. And I'm sure my dad's back there going, yeah, I'm doing a good job too. All righty. So we have your thing back up here. It's showing your main screen. So just pull up whatever your presentation is in front of the tab here, and I think you'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Command Tab until we tell you to stop.
All right, how's that?
Are you doing a command Tab?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's on the PowerPoint now.
Okay, release it. Release it.
I have. It's still not showing it.
No, you're sharing the StreamYard tab.
Wow.
So what? So yeah, you have to. So you're using PowerPoint and on the MacBook, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so go ahead and stop sharing your screen.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me go back to this
one. Okay, and maybe we didn't have you up. So now go ahead and share your screen.
Okay.
And share your PowerPoint presentation in the presentation mode, which you will be sharing a window.
Okay, it's not showing it in the window though for some reason.
So do you see the PowerPoint thing?
I see the StreamYard window, but it's not showing me the PowerPoint window like it was yesterday. It's odd.
Okay, are you using the Command Tab to switch between windows?
Hold on one second. Let me see.
Okay, stop right there. So just Alt Tab until Command Tab until you see your PowerPoint thing. So hold the command key down and then hit tab, and it should go to the next screen.
Okay. It should be on it now. It's showing me the PowerPoint.
Okay.
It's still not showing it.
Okay, let's just, yeah, do you see what, okay. Yeah, so let's see, can we figure, Mario, you also need to be getting ready backstage and sharing your screen so we can be ready.
Let me check my preferences real quick. Let me see.
Yeah, so what you should do is just share your, stop sharing, and we'll get this straight in a second. Stop sharing. Okay, and when you hit share screen, just share your entire screen.
Okay, gotcha.
So okay, now just get to your thing. Okay, so you're good.
Sweet.
All righty, we'll start your presentation now.
Whew. All right, here we go. All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tynario Jones, and I am the CEO of Warzone Music. And we are more than music. We are independent artists, independent artist recording label. We are a platform for artists to express and launch their creativity to the world through our music entertainment services. We were established in 2012 in Dothan, Alabama. I'm originally from Slocum, Alabama, born and raised. What we do is we provide various multimedia services for artists to create, publish, and distribute their work. We create revenue earning opportunities for artists and their fans. I'll talk about that more later. We develop and scale artist business models to self-sufficiency over the course of 3 years. The problems that we see is most artists don't have have startup or operations capital. They don't have a team. They aren't getting enough exposure, and there's an oversaturation of creatives making music but not making money. Our solution is that we're going to provide products and services to help artists grow and scale. We're also going to provide a platform for creatives to publish and distribute their products and services, and provide working capital for the creatives under contract. And so here are the artists that we have on board already. And this is the projects that we've already released already. And the market, independents as a whole grew their market share in 2020 from 29.7% to 31.1%. And in 2018, the figure was 28.3, March 1st, 2021. And as you can see, right around 2020, we were around in the 15.7. A lot of artists where you will find in the areas of 6.3 are those that's the artists that does it themselves. We're classified as far as being a label, so we kind of fell in that area right there. Although we are a label that are approaching the industry as broad as far as music wise and genres, it's really no preference. As of now, mainly we're hip hop and R&B, so you can see that we are pretty much on top of things right now. And
thank you, Ty. That is your 3 minutes. So,
okay,
so we're gonna give.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it goes by really fast, But reason why we limit the presentations to about 3 minutes apiece is because we want to make sure that that's your pitch time generally.
Yeah.
So feeling what that feels like. And so that's why we encourage everybody to continue to keep practicing this. And so we thank you for coming because that's a part of that practice. So now we're opening the floor for the next 5 minutes for questions. And there are quite a few questions for you. Joe has a couple. One is, are you an influencer?
Yes, I am.
Awesome, awesome. And define your products and services.
What we do is we pretty much offer recordings, mixing, mastering, video shoots, anything that an artist needs to help them, promote and present, their work.
So Joe says, don't use that slide you showed a decrease in influence in 2021. So listen, you don't think these people are looking, but they're looking at your work. So you want to make sure you show it. But I think that's about being genuine too. If you
Yeah,
see
yeah,
a decrease,
yeah,
then you show a decrease,
yeah. Good deal. Appreciate that, Jay.
Yeah. Yeah. He says, but he does say you're doing great things, man. Keep going.
Sweet. Thank you.
So the last thing he asked was, are you a producer or a manager? What's kind of your role with Warzone Music?
Well, I started out as, just an artist, independent artist. And then just kind of over time, I was doing that, focusing on just I was doing production as well. And then I had started meeting friends and other acquaintances, man, that kind of was doing production. So I just focused on just being an engineer, and just recording myself, mixing all of my stuff. And I just grew from there, man. So just like I said, it started out just the artist.
Great, great, great. And then Tyler says, great job, Ty. Are
Thank you.
you proving this studio time? Proving studio time. I don't know this term, so this might be a musical term.
That providing studio time. Yes.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. So what does that actually mean? Because I saw that you had almost like 9 projects or so that you all have already put out. So
Yeah.
do you actually have a studio space? Are you renting studio space? How's that working for you all?
Yeah. We're working out of Magic Work Studios over on Pace. And so anybody that needs studio time, as far as, if you need a song written, production work, if you need to get a video shot, you need voiceovers, commercials, jingles, just say the word.
Awesome. A couple of more comments. Engineer is a nice word. Joe says. Sandra says, this is great. A local music production and music company. So
Thank you, sir.
another great shout out. Abraham asks, great work, Sarge. Is your ideal customer an artist that is not making money?
Yes, exact. Yes.
And can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Why
Yes.
an artist not making money?
Well, because majority is they really don't know how to approach, getting to a place to where they begin making money. It's like they kind of just want to get out there and just kind of just be. They think it's just gonna happen overnight, kind of sort of, and they don't realize it's kind of a process. You have to get out, you have to go to different venues, and you have to just set up opportunities, and that's what we're coming in, is just going ahead and doing a lot of the legwork for them, and just having the space for them just to come in, and where they can start making making money. Especially those that are on the contract with us, and so there's going to be different opportunities for them to come in, whether they're producers, artists, songwriters, whatever.
No, that's great. Joe says you engineered this into existence. So great work, my friend. It takes work. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
Yes.
So what has been, since we have about 50 seconds left, what has been some of the most powerful things you've experienced through this 7 weeks of the Founders of Color launch program?
Oh man, it has really dug into the bare bones of what I was trying to do, and it helps me clarify what it is that we do and what it is that we're trying to make happen. Because my dream is to help other people's dreams come to fruition, and so and just being able to connect with different people to kind of help sharpen my ideas and everything has just been wonderful, man. I've been loving it, enjoying it.
Awesome. Well, we love all the work that you've been able to do. With about 8 seconds left, we just want to thank you and we'll welcome Mario up to the stage. Stay back here for a little bit moment for our final presentation, and we'd love to hear a little bit more about that. Thank you, Ty.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Yeah. All righty. So welcome, Mario. You are on the stage live. How are
Oh,
you, sir?
hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. So you're going to be our final presenter today. Are you going to be presenting any slides here?
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yep. All righty. We're going to pull it up and we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, perfect.
Your floor.
Okay, yeah. So this is my startup called Food Supply, and we're feeding the future. So the problem we're solving is that there's food security challenges caused by the COVID pandemic. So that resulted in a lot of smallholder farmers having to actually sell their produce or throw it out because there was no buyers. There's trust and transparency between the partners. So when farmers are buying their farm inputs, the person intentionally mislabels it just out of desperation. And when they're delivering their produce to the marketplace, that person who delivers it doesn't show up often. Thirdly, there's farmers gaining fair market value for their produce. So that's like when the farmer has to sell the produce, they typically sell to a wholesaler or middleman who typically makes most of the money. The farmer doesn't. And lastly, there's a large amount of waste. About 80% of the waste happens in the early stages of the value chain, and that's because of post-harvest loss and just not properly managing the harvesting process. Our solution is to do community agriculture that focuses on transparency and reputation, allow farmers to sell direct, and we can follow and increase overall efficiency. We track and trace the source of food items from farm to fork and make sure it gets delivered directly to home, safe place, or dinner. This is our prototype, so it's like kind of like a Facebook for agriculture, where you actually have like group admin, like team members and stuff like that. You got a dashboard for the community, so you can get like big data and stuff like that. You got your digital wallet where you can like save your money and apply for like different kind of financial products. You do community-based store, so if you sell your produce as a community, you have your own community store to sell your produce direct to market. There's just a product page, so you can like see the genetics and stuff of the crop or whatever you're growing. Create digital agreements between different partners in the value chain, maybe like logistics or packaging. In terms of competition, you can sell direct in the top left quadrant, so like affordable and online, and that's like setting up a farmers market. There's offline and expensive, like your store, your supermarket, I should say. This is expensive on online, so this is like a centralized online grocery marketplace. It's still expensive and online, and this is affordable and online. This is kind of like our direct competition. So it's kind of like decentralized business models, which is what we focus on. Our business model is to charge a recurring revenue $8 monthly, 34 semi-annually, and 180 yearly. I haven't finalized the how we make money for recurring revenue. In addition, we
Well,
charge
thank you
point
for
fee.
that, but I know you're going to be working on it. That is your 3 minutes already, Mario.
Oh my gosh! Okay, it's so fast.
It does go by
I
really, really
didn't
quickly,
know. Oh
but
my
we
goodness.
have 5 minutes here for our audience to definitely
Okay.
pop up some questions for you. So we're going to start with Joe first. He has asked a really great question here. What are your thoughts on permaculture or urban farming?
I'm very into urban farming. Um, I'm not really as familiar with permaculture, but I really am into urban vertical farming, and I think it's going to be the future of farming from big cities because they won't have to transport it from out in the rural areas into the cities.
Yes, and he says San Francisco has a great garbage disposal process for all organic matter. And then there's also a question about what is your background? What is your background in regards to your startup?
I'm a business developer. Like I went to school for business administration, um, and I just kind of launched a number of startups that didn't work. So I kind of failed my way upwards. So now I kind of just have like a way to just kind of use one business model concept that will apply to like different businesses, I guess. That makes sense.
Absolutely. So those are some great questions, and we still have a little bit of time regarding your work. Is there anything that you want to share that you didn't quite get to that you're interested in sharing with us?
Um, I guess this traction and validation page is pretty good. This is just some of the accelerators we're a part of, and our market size, sub-Saharan Africa, 1.2 billion people, expected to double by 2050. You know, a country like Sierra Leone, most of sub-Saharan Africa, where 70% of business in agriculture, mobile money, 23.8 billion in volume in 2019, and the emergence of the African Free Trade Area. So I think that's probably the most important slide, I guess.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And
Sorry
I
for
really love the fact that you're working in Africa and that you're trying to work with countries in Africa as well with your work. So how has the Founders of Color launch program assisted you over the course of these past 7 weeks to get your demo where it is today?
Well, it helped me find like a cool expertise. Like I found like co-founders, and they have given me more experience than I could ever dream of, because like I have a backyard garden and I garden stuff, but like it doesn't compare to like um you know the community, just the smallholder farmer experience. Um, that happens on the ground. Right? I don't have that experience, so it was very helpful
No, that's
developing the
great.
prototype. Yeah.
Yeah, developing the prototype is important. Did you actually try to go visit some places? I know like a couple of places in Pensacola as well have some like small like community gardens and things like that. Did you get a chance to see those type of
Um.
things?
No, but I I found some places like in America and in Canada and in South Africa that do it. I just haven't really visited, unfortunately.
Yes, Monica says if healthy agriculture is easily and readily available, it means healthier populations. Love it. So the very idea is already at that space. Do you have any comments towards that?
I think food is very important because there's a lot of herbicides, pesticides, and just chemicals in general that they make the supply chain. They kind of destroy the supply chain because it gets to us and we eat the food, and I think it needs to be cleaned up. So anything to clean up the food supply chain, I'm all for it. We really need, really clean, healthy food, all natural, which is what we aim for. Which we really want to, get that good stuff into our
Yes, Joe
consumers.
has been offering his services to our startup founders here today, and says he would love to help you. So definitely that connection afterwards would be great to see you all follow up on.
Thank you.
I'm also curious. We got about 15 seconds left. Um, how have you been able to partner over the course of this time? Have you been able to find any ways as far as finding a co-partner or a co-founder?
I just it's more like a values thing, and just a vision, like where they're going. So for me, when the vision, you know, is we have the same vision, it's just a green light. The vision is the most important thing, right? Like they have the same vision, I have the same vision, and then they have the skill set that like I don't have, and the experience that I don't have, and then I have the technology. So it's like, you know, we kind of like the partnership should have that where you have what other person doesn't need, and then
Hmm.
you feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah, I
Right?
hear that for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Heather says she thought this was great work. She would love to stay connected and follow your work because she is a plant-based personal chef. So you got some people in the audience that are excited about what you're doing, and definitely, I think if you all have not connected, definitely send that information to Lloyd Senior and make sure that you all are stay connected because there's a lot of people offering their services out here. There is one more question, but at the time currently, we're going to bring up Lloyd Senior now to have all of our founders kind of come and we want to congratulate you all together.
Yes, all the founders, you're going to bring them on stage?
Yep. All righty. I hope you guys are ready.
Wake up back there, Sandra and Quinn. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, all. You all did a fantastic job, and yeah, I like when founders share their story, and I wanted to kind of point out a couple of things, just so you all understand how important it is to pitch what you have and share the progress that you're making. So, like we can talk about Quinn, for example, his first pitch competition, and you can kind of see the progress he's made, and so what happens is, and this is for all of you all, you the more you participate in the ecosystem, the more all these programs and all this help and funding that's out there, people recognize what you're doing, and you it's more gives you more credibility when you apply for something because they can actually see the progress you're making, and so that's very important, and it's also important to from the learning thing too is when you get all these questions and you get ideas, and I see a bunch of you all been getting help, wanting people wanting to help you on your journey. So those are some good things. And so Mario, you actually were on Sabina's team, right?
Yeah, yeah, yes, I was.
Yeah, and so I matched you all up so that because you all did have a common interest there, and so is that who you were talking about?
Yes, yes,
Okay, good.
definitely.
Yeah, and Sabina's on travel, so you're filling in for her with your startup, and so that's a good. And Carlos, of course, you've been probably the most active person in the ecosystem, and so why don't you talk about how that has helped you in you making progress?
Oh yes, sir. I've been learning a lot though. Like thanks to all the mentors that I've been working with though, like Daryl and Randall and so many people. Uh, I've been learning about how to build a criteria. I've been getting better ideas though on you know how I can not only improve the business, but even more creative ideas on how we can help like bully kids. And I'm even working with a friend though that gave me an idea though about the bully recovery though partner network because I know that I said that Quinn is a game changer, and he is though. But when you think outside the box though, such as with a Bullet Recover Partner Network though, like that in itself can be a game changing idea. So I definitely learned that as you learn all types of new ways to step your business game up, that will definitely help my business or anybody's business to be a game changer. So I've really been growing, really been learning, and I definitely plan on coming out with a much better criteria.
Fantastic. And so, Sandra, so what's your introduction? What was this introduction to the startup world like for you?
It was just a game changer. It was like the light bulb came on, and I was just messaging Quinn like, this has been really cool. And sometimes you have to be on the fly. You have to know your product. You have to be able to tell the stories. And so this whole project, working with the founders on the block and getting me to change my idea set. And you and I talked for hours yesterday, the day before, whatever it was, and we just kind of hammered through it. And it really changed my mindset. I think that this is innovative. I think it's so well needed for new businesses to get that leg up, and get an opportunity to learn more about their craft and their skill, and then to be able to share that with others. I think that's the most imperative component of marketing, is being able to make other people feel your passion. And that's what I heard tonight. I heard a lot of passion, and I'm really impressed and I'm intrigued by the great work that's going on right here in our backyard. So kudos to everyone, and thank you so much, Lloyd, and the entire mentoring team for your support throughout this process for us all.
Yeah, so I wanted to comment on your situation, and I see this with several of our founders. And so you and your business, you got it started with earlier this year, and you're making money. You part of two, a grant, 3-year grant that's where you making some good money there, and you've got a consulting client that if you successful with that client, you can do more clients like that all across the country. So you have that traction. And so what I saw was a person that had a business, but their model, your model, it actually wasn't designed to be scalable. But you're making money, and most people are satisfied with making money. So now you're coming up, starting to work on a business model where you're going to have recurring income that you never even thought that you could actually do that. And now you can actually become the data queen of data, from where a community goes from a poor quality of life to a good quality of life, through just tracking all that information and actually turn it into some scalable where you can onboard the people, you train the people, then you get them on a monthly subscription. The some of the big organizations that you deal with, you get them on an annual subscription, and so so you got something that can be something. And that's what a lot of founders, they're out there working on their businesses. They don't think they can actually do a business model, and so that's kind of, I think, it's the difference in your story. And Ty, I'm not sure whether you would have kind of like stayed mainstream, or whether you would have kind of created a business model or not. But by getting involved with us, you actually see you actually can create a business model and create something that's actually scalable.
So I would definitely want to ask the group, since we're all here and you all gone through this first launch program, what was something you would say to a person who is going to do the next launch program? What would you give them as advice in doing this 7-week program? Go ahead, Carlos.
I would say, take it, one step at a time. Have a plan to where you get a certain amount of work done at a time. And as you do that, though, focus on building criteria, because a good friend of mine told me you want to build a criteria or have a game plan, because in the startup world, you'll find out firsthand that you don't want to, send yourself though out, to the wolves. You'll get eaten alive. So it's all about just, going at a pace that best work for you. Take it one step at a time, and have a strategy.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of what Carlos said, I would just more so say just to come in more open-minded. Again, it's all about the mindset shift. So just come in open-minded, and try to learn as much as you can, and just apply what you can, and keep it moving forward.
All righty. So I guess we can kind of wrap this up a little bit, but we're definitely proud of all of you for participating in the demo day, and it's definitely a kind of a milestone in your journey. And there, like I said earlier, once you learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely, or your business model clearly and concisely, then you can actually get into programs. And I was using the example of the founder that I was just talking to yesterday. That founded the company Meter Feeder, and so his company is growing at a rate of 10%, more than 10% per month. So what does that mean? He's growing more than 10% a month. So you see what I'm saying? He's growing really fast. So he's starting to shoot up on that hockey stick. But and so the deal is you actually have to follow the process so you can actually get into some of these programs. And in his case, he was able to get into Google for Black founders, and he got both the $100,000 worth for Google Cloud credits plus the $100,000 cash, with no strings attached. So so there's opportunity out there, and some of you all may want to consider participating in the Synapse thing because that's another opportunity. You apply for that, and as long as you can describe your business model and where you're headed, you don't have to have your product finished and ready yet. But if you just showing some progress, and that's like a $75,000 pitch competition that's in February, down in Tampa, and so we got the discount booth prices. So just kind of take advantage of some of that stuff, and also for everyone, we're starting to add people to our startup science platform, and there's training for each of these stages, and so that platform is ready, and I'll slowly start adding folks to it. So if you look on the email that I sent out yesterday, the weekly email, you can actually click on the link and say you want to get actually signed up for that, and I'll add you that. And so it's got all the stuff that you're missing on how to communicate, when you do those applications for these different programs. And so I think it's over like over 20 modules in there that it covers all of these subjects that are on here. So make sure you request that so you can actually be prepared to fill out any pitch application, any accelerated program application to go forward. And for the audience, just go to the Kukua Institute website, and the link to the form is on there on the Get Started under the startup stuff. So that's a program we're doing. So we're definitely excited, and we're going to keep on supporting you all, as much as we can. And anybody got any parting thoughts before we sign off? Until the first Thursday of next month is our next event, a weekly event. So anybody got any comments before we sign off?
Well, I do definitely before we sign off, and I will leave the last final comments to our wonderful founders here. But I am so proud of everyone showing up. As a performing artist myself, half of the work is actually showing up, and so reading, coming every week to the meetings, we're picking up that motivational baggage and saying, I got to do this. This is for my future. This is the future of what I want to see my community or myself, my family in. I thank you all for taking that step each and every time doing this. And I also want to say, because my father wouldn't, but also you all's participation helps the Kukua Institute and Startup on the Block. You being here shows that there is a need for this type of development in our community, for people of color, for women, for people of all different kind of demographic backgrounds that are not represented in the startup ecosystem. And it's so important that you all just showing up is already a blessing for our community. So I just want you all to pat yourselves on the back. Thank you for presenting today, and I will let you all leave with some final thoughts. Happy holidays to you all.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, happy holidays, and thank you, Lloyd and Lloyd Jr., for all that you guys have been doing over the past, 2-3 years now, with Startup on the Blocks. It's a big help. The community needs it. We need it. So continue doing what you're doing, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Same to you, Quinn, and to everyone. And thank you so much to both of the Lloyds and the entire Kukua Institute. We are so grateful. And, being a female Black entrepreneur myself, I can tell you that this has definitely been an asset to me. It's word of mouth and being able to share to other entrepreneurs, and again, especially women of color, as we have to navigate the system. Being able to have you all as a resource is definitely a blessing. And so I just want to boost the blessing by saying Merry Christmas to you all, Happy New Year's, and we're looking forward to what's to come for the Kukua Institute and for others. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate you for all of your help, support, and the opportunities. Lloyd Senior and Junior, thank you. Kukua Institute, thank y'all. All the mentors and the support out there. Thank y'all so much for just cheering us on and helping correct us on this journey. I definitely needed this because I know I needed to get out my comfort zone and I needed to take the extra step, but I didn't know where else to find it, and I'm grateful of just the opportunity to get in here and just grind it out with y'all, man. Thank y'all. Y'all have a happy holidays to you and your families, and blessing to y'all.
And I like to say like Merry Christmas to everyone, and thank you, uh, Lloyd Jr. and Lloyd and everybody though for helping me on my journey. And it's been an honor though to, of course, though compete with everyone here though, because as I like to say though, as an artist though, there's so much you know inspiration though for creation, and because y'all inspire me, and I hope I inspire y'all as well though, because that's gonna be my biggest one of my biggest goals though in 2023 though, is to love to where I can inspire more people to to share their story, and most importantly though, seek out their healing.
I like that,
Uh, y-
Carlos, seeking your
I know
healing.
that was powerful. It's like,
Mhm.
thank you, Mr. Lloyd and Lloyd Jr. It was very pleasant to be here. Thank you so much for helping me with my business model, the spotlight, helping me find a co-founder, and overall just the insightful emails that you guys send out, because it's very helpful, and it's always nice opening your email and just seeing it. It's always pleasant. It's just nice seeing it. All right. So happy holidays, and you have a blessed new year.
Okay, thanks everyone. We're gonna sign off, but wanted to thank Quinn, Tia, Santia, and Troy for helping put this video together, and that we're gonna close out with this video. Thank you all. Idea is that you have to learn how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely. And once you learn how to do that, then you can bring in all the stakeholders and you can get into programs that'll help you and train you on how to build it. But that first step is you have to design a business model that is desirable.
When I initially moved back to Pensacola, I had a meeting with Lloyd. Lloyd invited me for breakfast, and I was telling him, man, I still have an idea for the entertainment industry. This is what I wanted to do. He was like, all right, I got started on the block. So I need you to start coming to start ecosystem and take your idea and we'll get you where you need to go. My company is called The Know, is an app that is streamlining business for the entertainment industry. Yeah, so if you're a musician, what you would do is pretty much jump on the platform, you create a profile. But the way we created the profile is pretty much a cleaner way. So now if they want more information about you, you'll connect your social media platforms, your streaming platforms, and that way they can go directly to it. What we also have included is your calendar. So pretty much you can set your days, you can set your price for your days and automate your booking. So initially talking to Lloyd, my idea was all here, it was there, it was over here, it was over there. It was like, all right, Quinn, I get it. You got a lot that you want to do, but we need you to bring it in just a little bit and then work on your pitch, your story, and how you're going to bring it full circle to get people to understand what you're trying to create.
Most of the programs here wasn't inclusive. And so we said we'll focus on helping founders of color. We also start at the beginning of the day, at the idea stage, whereas a lot of the programs you see here locally, they start after you're up, and though that's not very efficient, unless if you don't have a lot of money, you can't recover from your mistakes. And the lean startup system, it actually helps you make mistakes faster before you spend a lot of money. You don't actually start building anything until you got customer buy-in.
There was a need for small businesses to bring brand awareness to their business. I see that there's a lot of makers and bakers that they're making all of these goodies and these products, but they can't market it, they can't sell it at the same time, and there needs to be kind of that middleman, that middle person to help bring economic growth to some of the small businesses in Pensacola. So Taste of Pensacola, I came up with that idea during the pandemic when I saw things at that time that Amazon couldn't fulfill. They didn't even have those products, but the local people in the community, they did. And so there was a ton of people coming out saying, hey, I make masks. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. All the local people here that are just as talented that can actually make those products. And so I wanted to kind of showcase who they were. So with Taste of Pensacola, our income streams, we have several of them. We have the corporate America. We do corporate gifting, just regular consumers, different Pensacola natives that don't live here that want to purchase our boxes, like a taste of weddings, distribution. So we also do bulk sales. So for a private airline, if they want some local snacks and goodies on their passenger flights, they will come to Taste of Pensacola and we will source their vendors here locally. And we'll give a small business owner an opportunity to have reoccurring monthly sales. I've always had a really big vision for Taste of Pensacola. I knew that it could go beyond just local. I know that maybe other communities could possibly use the same platform that I'm trying to build. And I always have these big visions, but I never know how to even get there. Where do I start? I know it's more than, there's a lot of technical things behind it. I know there's a lot of research, but that connection, I never had it until thankfully I met and was introduced to Startups on the Blocks and was able to just learn more about how to grow it in terms of data, things I just never thought about, the framework, words like traction, because a lot of things that I just did not know about and language that I need to know in order to get funding for my business. There's just a lot that I didn't know.
I would go to the stores and look online. They didn't have a wide variety of natural hair products about 8 years ago. And the ones that they did have, the ingredients, it would say that they were all natural. And when I would research the ingredients, a lot of the ingredients were not natural. I make everything, my shampoo, conditioner, I have an oil that I make, and I have 2 different separate butters. Like I had some people who were completely bald and grew their hair. It's about giving women their confidence back in their hair. I have this salon and I have a second salon, and I have my products in about 5 beauty supply stores. So I need a manufacturer to keep up with the demand at this point. Startup on the Blocks has helped my business grow, send me to different people. I'm able to do different pitch competitions to apply for grants in the community for small businesses. Lloyd's a really good person to connect with. He has a lot of resources here in the community that can help small businesses grow. If you have a product out there and you're trying to go big time, he's the person that you would want to meet with.
So it's really important to have some type of support because 9 out of 10, most founders start out on their own. And to have somebody that has an idea of how the ecosystem works and is able to tap into other resources and bring back to the community, and that pretty much has encountered some of the roadblocks or going through the same roadblocks that we're currently going through and understands where you're at, your culture, and how you respond to things is a big help because you don't really have too many people that have access to what we have access to here in the community. And a lot of people believe that you have to leave and go to bigger cities to do the things that we're doing here. But I mean, there's one thing that has exposure, but you have to actually know it's here in the community in order to take advantage of the resources. So I get approached and I talk to friends all the time that wants to either start an idea or hear that I'm actually doing the app and wants to know more information about how are you doing it or what's the process, what's the path. Like, man, we have somebody here, Start on the Blocks, Lloyd Richard, and Lloyd is here. He's a great resource to the community and to founders that's trying to learn the ecosystem. So join Start on the Blocks.